Yesterday after the show, we talked to Patrick Mahomes about the health of his ankle, whether we'll ever see a behind-the-back pass during the Super Bowl maybe, and his mutual, let's say, inspiration from Trash Talk, him and Luka. Here it is. Enjoy.
You know, once upon a time, I used to think I was Kansas City's favorite son. And then Patrick Mahomes came along and very rudely took the spot from me. Patrick, I want to start with one of our favorite topics. It's what's on everyone's mind today, Luka Doncic. He scored 50 on Monday. And I'm curious, who's more dangerous to be disrespected? You or Luka by a Pistons coach?
Oh, man. I would say Luka, man. I've seen it firsthand. I went to one of his games in L.A. at Staples Center, Crypto Center now, or Crypto.com Center, and was talking trash. I think Patrick Beverley was talking trash to him, and he went off for the rest of the playoffs. So I would say Luka probably is the most dangerous disrespected.
Yeah, you know, as it happened, the Bengals had a lot of Patrick Beverleys. They weren't named Patrick Beverley, but it was kind of the same ethos there. Were you surprised at how much and how loudly they were talking leading up to the game?
I think I was a little surprised about the week before the game. I remember after they beat us in the regular season, they said we have to play them, and I think that's what kind of sat with me for the entire rest of the season. Of I want to play these guys again, but it's a great football team, man. So if they're going to keep beating us, they have the right to talk, but when we win, it just doesn't look as good.
Okay, and so after the game, you step to the podium, and now I got to say, you know, I was a little disappointed because you step to the podium and you say, you know, nobody picked us. Patrick, somebody picked you. Somebody's been believing in you all year, and you know that, correct?
Yeah, no. I said 5% of people picked us. You were in that 5%.
Okay.
But other than you and a few select people, I think across some networks, I think a lot of people had the Bengals. I saw the pictures where it was like 8 Bengals pictures and then the Chiefs as a 1. So I knew not a lot of people picked us, but I think the guys responded the right way, and we were able to get the win.
Okay, but so this has kind of been a theme this year. Because, and you threw up the Pete Weber tweet after the game, but also, you carry yourself humbly, but then you have little moments where I think it flashes, like you count on the fingers, and you're very aware of what people are saying. Has it been odd to you that it has felt to me like all year long, a lot of the sports media was ready to essentially move on from the Chiefs, move on from you as the best quarterback, the Chiefs is the best team, it's going to be Allen, it's going to be Herbert, it's going to be Burrow. Like, did that feel a little premature to you?
I think as long as Andy Reid's the head coach of this football team, that the Chiefs are always going to have a chance. So I thought it was a little bit premature in a sense, but I knew that if we just kept doing what we needed to do, that we were going to be where we wanted to be at, and that's in the Super Bowl. And so now we're going up against a great Philadelphia Eagles football team, and we know we're going to need our best football if we want to win.
All right, Patrick. Nick has made a nice little cottage industry of telling everybody, I'm the Patrick Mahomes guy. Okay. But I was actually the first guy, you might not know this, to say you were Jordan-esque, as in Michael Jordan-like. And according to Sports Illustrated, I'm the first ever to say that you are the best quarterback I've ever seen. I know I can't call you the GOAT because you got to win more like Tom Brady, but you're the best I've ever seen. And speaking of Brady, obviously today he retired. So I want to get from you, like, you guys do things so differently. What do you think made him such a great quarterback? Because it obviously just wasn't him using his legs and being so athletic.
I think you said a little bit of it, and he has a little bit of that. He has the Jordan in him, that will to win and that will to be the best. I think that's what makes Tom so great. And even though he might not have the best arm or the best mobility, he's still really good at both of those things. Moving within the pocket and arm strength, and then his will to bring his teammates along is special, and his will to be great and be the best is special. And that's something that whenever I talk to Tom, I just try to learn as much as possible, and he's more than willing to give me some advice, which I think is pretty cool, because he is the GOAT and someone that I want to try to chase, but I know it's a long ways away from me, and I have to continue to just win football games.
Yeah, how much, we've heard LeBron say he's chasing Jordan, right? The ghost of Mike, and he wants to be the best ever. How much does that drive you, and how do you kind of balance that staying in the moment, but also feeling like I want to be the best ever when I'm done?
Yeah, I think any athlete wants to be the best at their position ever. And I want to be, but I understand how hard it's going to be. I know that Tom being in 10 Super Bowls and winning 7 of them is something that it seems impossible. So all I can do is take it day by day and get better and better, and try to do whatever I can to have great guys around me like I do now and win football games. But at the end of the day, it's a team sport and it takes a team. And I have to just try to keep those guys around me as long as possible and keep Coach Reed coaching for as long as possible as well.
All right, Patrick, I've seen some film of you playing high school basketball. You had game, that's for sure. So I know you know basketball. Nick and I have this debate. He thinks LeBron James is the best ever. I think Michael Jordan. Who do you think is the GOAT NBA player?
Man, that's a tough one, man. My dad used to have me watching documentaries on DVDs of Michael Jordan, of classic games. So I would say if I had one game, I would take Michael Jordan, or one series. But I would say for a full entire season, I got to go with LeBron because he can do a little bit of everything.
I think that was a Jordan. Well done. I'm taking that as a Jordan.
It was a very diplomatic answer. I'm not going to let you do that. Go ahead, Wildes. We're going to move on. His last thing he said was LeBron. That's the right answer.
All right, Patrick, you guys got so much motivation from the Bengals trash talk. Didn't seem like the Eagles are saying much of anything. But if I was Andy Reid, I would try to sort of put a few pieces of bait out there. I'd be like, all right, Patrick, when you look at the scheme that the Eagles, who fired me, are running here, is that a narrative that you want to sort of get revenge for Andy? Has Andy made it known that, hey, I really want this Super Bowl, even more than the other Super Bowls we were in?
Man, if you're not fired up to play this game, then you're in the wrong sport. I mean, it's a Super Bowl. I've been able to, luckily enough, win one, and I've been able to lose one. And I know what both of those feelings feel like. And I'll tell you what, winning one is about the complete opposite of losing one. I mean, you're either going from the greatest feeling in the world to the worst feeling in the world. So if you're not motivated to play this game on this stage against a great football team like this, then you're in the wrong sport.
So you've mentioned Andy a few times. He's obviously one of the key components of this era. You are the key component of the era. And you also happen to have, I believe, the greatest tight end to ever live, who also seems to be a bit of a maniac. There was a moment, Patrick, right after the game. You're talking to Tracy Wolfson, and you are literally thanking God. Those are the words that are coming out of your mouth. And Travis Kelce comes over, cackling maniacally, and just bellows, "Burrowhead my ass," and just keeps laughing and walks away. What is he like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I think people see that mentality that he has and how fun he is and how he's able to be around everyone and be the most liked guy in the room. But people don't see how hard that man works. And it makes it easy for me whenever the hardest working guy on the team is the Hall of Fame, one of the best, if not the best, tight end of all time. So whenever I want to tell other guys hey, you need to finish your route or you need to finish running upfield, all I have to do is point to 87 because I know he's doing it the right way and he can be that leader for me.
Quickly, Patrick, before we get to Super Bowl stuff, I just want to look backwards for one more time. The video of you is now famous, of you being told you have to go get the x-ray on your ankle in the Jacksonville game. Did you not want to go get it x-rayed because you thought if they saw the x-ray they wouldn't let you play? Like, did you think that potentially that you had broken your ankle or done something even worse than what you did?
Well, I've been in that x-ray room before, and it hasn't worked out well for me. So I thought I was good enough to play, and I wanted to at least get one more series to get out there and see if I could test it out. And Coach Reed, he says he has 51%. So he said, you're getting the x-ray before you play, so you might as well go now. And so I knew then I had to go back out there and get the x-ray, and luckily enough it was negative and I was able to get back in the football game.
And then obviously you play the next week and play great. There's a famous clip of you from a few weeks ago saying that you should have had people chasing you during the 40-yard dash, that other guys are faster than you but they're not as afraid as you are. When you're going into that game, did you think you were going to be able to, if need be, scramble the way you did for what ended up setting up the game-winning field goal? Or was that simply the adrenaline of the moment?
A little bit of both. I thought I was going to be able to run straight and not making much cuts, especially this last game, just because of how the ankle was feeling. And I think you saw that throughout the game. There's a couple times I tried to run and I didn't go anywhere, and the coaches kept getting mad at me for not throwing the ball away. But in that moment, I knew I needed to get the first down to give ourselves a chance at another play. And obviously the penalty happened and everything like that, and it got us into field goal range anyways. I thought I was going to be able to move enough to protect myself, not necessarily run forward a lot.
Patrick, speaking of unconventional plays, for 2 years now, we have been running video of you practicing the behind-the-back pass. And every week or every other week, we've said, you know what? Goal line opportunity. This is a chance for Patrick to break out the behind-the-back pass. And then we show the videos from you indoors and you outdoors. Is this thing ever going to see the light of day, or is it just a practice play exclusively?
No, it's for sure going to happen at some point in the game. I'm not going to say it's going to happen in the Super Bowl, but I actually do it in practice a good amount. I throw it and completed it probably like 80 to 90% of the time.
Oh, come on!
But I'm a little too scared still to do it in the game. And Travis, he gives me crap for it. Every time I do it in practice, all he yells is "Do it in the game."
I want to know this, Patrick, because obviously you got tons on your mind and you got the huge game coming up. What do you do to relax? Like, what do you like to do to get your mind off football and when you're not thinking about the game?
Well, in the season, I'm pretty busy, so most of my free time I just spend with the family now. I got the 2 kiddos now, so I spend most of my free time with them. But in the off season, I'm a big golfer, so I like to golf a lot and get on the course and swing the sticks around. I've never got a lesson, but I think I'm at least above average. So I'm gonna try to continue to get my golf game to where I can be winning some of these celebrity tournaments that I'm trying to be in.
No, it's so. Listen, wow. I know people that golf with Patrick, and it's one of those 1% athlete things. Like, never had a lesson, bombs at 350, great at all the sports. It's so dumb. Like, you don't practice, you don't even care. I'll try it, shoot a 76. So let me ask. There's one other football thing I want to ask you, which is last year. We saw defenses changing the way they played you guys. And for a moment there, it seemed to affect you, and then you ended up obviously having a great end of the season. Did that oddly prepare you to play without Tyreek? Because defenses were making you, when you had Tyreek, making you take the underneath stuff, and then Tyreek's gone. Like, did that actually help you for this season?
I think it did in a sense. It just helped me evolve as a quarterback in general. I've been a guy that I wanted to throw the deep shot every single time. And Coach Reed always joked with me about it is he would call routes to throw underneath routes. And then on the other side, they'd put a deep shot just in case. And he always would say, it's like you're dangling a cheeseburger in front of him and telling him not to throw it. So I finally learned that I can take a possession throw, underneath route, and those deep throws are gonna happen throughout the game. And luckily, I've learned that at a time where we needed it, and we still hit those deep throws every once in a while. And if you give me the opportunity, I'm still gonna give it a chance.
All right, listen, you've been very generous with your time, and I actually made the executive decision not to ask you about the Super Bowl because I don't want you to slip up and give the Eagles bulletin board material, and we need to win this football game. So we can just talk about the Super Bowl after the Super Bowl. I want to give you, in the last minute here, you guys playing a ton of young guys. You get a lot of love as deserved. Travis does. Chris Jones is finally, belatedly getting some love. That was a team win, a team effort. I want to give you the opportunity to shout out any of your maybe less heralded teammates that you feel haven't gotten enough national shine, and give them some recognition here before we go.
Yeah, I mean, first off, you start off with the offensive line, man. They went up against a great defensive line, and I was hobbled and couldn't really move, and they gave me the time to make the throws. And then, I mean, you got to talk about the secondary. I mean, you have rookies. I think there was 4 rookies at one point playing in the secondary with 3 corners and a safety, and they went up against probably the best receiving group in the NFL, and they held their own. And so we got a lot of young guys on this team, and we got a lot of leaders that we've brought them along as the years went on. And you're seeing those guys step up now, and can they do it for us for one more game, man? We're playing a great team, and we're gonna need their best.
Patrick, we appreciate you. Yes. Thank you. We appreciate the fact that you're the greatest athlete in the history of my hometown, what you've done for Kansas City, and thank you for making the time for a Super Bowl week, man.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Keep the banners coming, too.
Oh, thank you. Good call.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Patrick.
Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.